Good evening, Guardians. TBL here. Going to be talking a bit about an interview and some more information we've sort of gleaned about the upcoming Destiny 2 from Destiny 2's game director, Luke Smith. Smith was asked about how he feels about some of the memification aspects of Destiny 1. We know our community is able to come up with some truly fantastic memes. And thankfully, Luke Smith is mostly okay with the fantastic stuff the community comes up with. He even went as far as to say that in their internal discussions, they too referred to the Arcstrider as the pole dancer, and thus will it forever be known. They talked a little bit about the beta and what kind of experience it's going to provide for players. Luke was asked about what he really feels he and his team have nailed with Destiny 2. What they've gotten right, what they've gotten wrong, and some things that they may need to change before the official launch in September. And to that he answered this: I think that so few people have touched the game so far, and a bunch of the valuable feedback comes from playing. As we continue to expand the number of folks who are going to be getting hands-on and getting playtime with the game, we'll learn more. Here at E3, we have a bunch of the DRE content. DRE standing for Destiny Reveal Event, with the Arcstrider that we've added to the mix. The beta is going to be a similar extension with a couple of little things, and that's going to be coming out in July. So it's an opportunity to get more people with their hands on the game and see what they think. Now that right there, in no too definitive terms, kind of tells us what we can expect with the Destiny 2 beta coming later next month. The beta we're going to be getting is just going to be a lightly enhanced version of what we've already seen at the Destiny Reveal event and E3. So a couple of PvP maps, the new PvP game mode, and maybe one or two strikes. They did say that we were going to be getting some different things that those events didn't get, although my estimation would probably be that that's going to come in the form of access to different subclasses. They're probably going to have all the subclasses on display when the beta comes out, which is another thing I'm looking forward to. We've only seen a limited number of the subclasses for the Titans, Hunters, and Warlocks in Destiny 2, and we've got some questions about things. But moving on from there, the interview took a short dive into PvP and their sort of balancing philosophy for it. Now, throughout history, we know Bungie likes to kind of balance PvE and PvP on sort of a similar level, because they want you to be able to take your guns and your loadout that you're used to in PvE straight into the PvP Crucible environment and not feel like a fish out of water. And specifically, they talked a bit about weapon balance. Now, this is something I've mentioned in previous videos. But the interviewer goes about asking Luke how they're balancing weapons and armor this time between PvE and PvP. And Luke had this to say: we've got some stuff that we've already been able to do historically, which is adjust damage values against the monsters, etc, etc, etc. So that's what's going to continue. The main difference here, I guess first and foremost, we're still thinking of it the same way. One character, one arsenal, taken across both lines. Now, does that mean we'll always have the Bring Your Own Guardian? Well, not necessarily, but it means Destiny 2 is going to ship with Bring Your Own Guardian in both. Like I said, just going to confirm that they're basically approaching balancing in Destiny 2 with sort of the same philosophy that they had in Destiny 1. But Luke continues with this: I think there are opportunities to explore the other things in that space, but for us right now, the tuning path is pretty different this time. The weapons are all hand-built in a way where, before, they had random talents. We can look at an entire archetype like hand cannons, and then we can look at data on usage rates for hand cannons and sort usage rates, and then within usage rates check kill-death ratios per hand cannon and find out what is actually effective and what's not. And now let me take a little break to say here's why this is important. We all know that there are certain builds for weapons that make up the meta because they're the most effective within the world space that we have. For hand cannons, if you're using them in Crucible, you guys know what that is. It's the 22 rate of fire, 81 impact hand cannons, and they need to have a significant amount of range on them. This limits the overall number of really effective perks you can have on hand cannon if you want to use it to great effect for high level play in the Crucible. You need to have that rangefinder, you need to have that rifled barrel. And it's the same story across several archetypes of weapons. Well, now they're saying that they can pinpoint, see exactly which perks are the most effective, and possibly weed out some of the less effective perks in the pool tree. And personally, I think that's something that's really appreciated for certain weapons like rocket launchers. But anyways, moving on, Luke continues by saying, and then, because the weapons are all hand-built, we can take a given hand cannon and say, let's change this one hand cannon, rather than let's pave this entire archetype. So we have opportunities in front of us that we haven't had before because of the way we built the weapons, and hopefully we'll seize upon those opportunities. Now this, of course, is a fantastic change. We all know the stories of the many different guns and the many different weapon seasons, as Bungie likes to call them, in Destiny 1, where entire archetypes of weapons have been destroyed because of one or two outliers overperforming. Now, other than that, we got a little bit more information about how we're going to have some more character interactions in Destiny 2. Smith was asked about the fate of some of the Vanguard characters we've come to know and love. And of course, whether or not we'll be seeing the return of characters like Master Rahool. Additionally, the notion of the Zavala origin trailer came up, and just how impactful it was to see that character we've known for the past couple of years, see his beginnings, get that backstory, and how emotional it is. And, of course, the somewhat disappointing answer that we're not going to be getting anything like that for either Cayde 6 or Ikora Rey. The whole Zavala thing was a bit of a one-off, as Luke Smith puts it. But apparently we will still be seeing some familiar faces throughout Destiny 2. Smith states that you're going to have more exposure to some of those folks for sure. Some will return, some will not. And some of the characters that do not return will not have an explanation. Which unfortunately probably means everybody's favorite blue homie, Master Ives, is probably not going to be making a grand comeback. But in good news, Rahool may very well be sticking around. But that's pretty much it, Guardians. There was a lot of information in this interview, but I tried to pick out some of the most important bits. If you'd like to read it in its entirety, there will be a link to it in the description box below. There's still tons of information about Destiny 2 out there, so make sure you're staying tuned right here where we'll be covering every last bit of it. But alright, I'm out for now. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.